Hello and welcome to Making Mindfulness Fun. In this video, I'm talking about what each Enneagram type is like as a child. Specifically, in this video, I'm talking about the Enneagram Type 8 in childhood and tips for parenting them. Hello, welcome to Making Mindfulness Fun. I'm Isabelle, and in this video series, I'm flying solo to tell you about what each Enneagram type is like in childhood, specifically in this video, the Enneagram Type 8, which can be a handful for a lot of us, but that is okay. Here at Making Mindfulness Fun, we help you on your journey to higher consciousness so you can experience more joy, love, and emotional liberation. So let's dive into the video. But before we do, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on those post notifications because we try to put out a video every single day. So let's talk about what the Type 8 child is. Now, if you are new to the Enneagram, or if you're not, and you're just asking the question of, is the Enneagram really important for my children? I know my Enneagram, but I don't know if my kid's Enneagram is really important. Let me just stop you there and say, yes. The Enneagram is a great tool for parenting because each Enneagram type has such different core desires, and these core desires are going to drive them in their day. So by knowing your child's Enneagram, you will know what is driving them to be successful in their day. And let me tell you, each core desire is so different. So mistyping your child or not knowing your child's Enneagram, and by knowing your child's correct Enneagram, is going to help you so much with parenting them because you'll know their strengths, their weaknesses, and what they need to be happy. So let's start by talking about the Enneagram Type 8 and what they're like in childhood. The Enneagram Type 8 is called the Challenger, and these kids are not as adults, they're more accepted by society, but as kids, they can seem a little bit frustrating and a little bit too much of challengers. They can cause some problems. The Type 8 child is bold, direct, brave, and energetic. These people love to control, and that is okay. That is what they want. But in society, that can seem as a little bit of a problem, especially as kids, because they think that they want to be in control. That is their core desire, but they can't be in control really all the time if they're a kid. They need to listen to their parents. So if you have a Type 8 child, and maybe that's why you're already watching this video because you know your child's a Type 8, it's going to be really important that you keep listening on for my tips for raising this child. But if you're still uncertain if you have a Type 8 child, if your child loves to lead, be the commander, be in control, if they're assertive, if they're blunt, if they'll tell things as it is, if they'll fight, if they're aggressive, they're a Type 8. The Type 8's core desire is to have intensity and challenge. And so these kids are going to be driven by that desire. So they're going to love to do exercise. They're going to love to take on challenges and be the leader. Any sort of challenge that comes up, they'll be the first one to jump on that, whether that's PE, whether that's homework, whether it's a math challenge, whether it's like cooking a dinner. They're going to want to be in control, and that's okay. But we have to find a balance with these kids and know how we can raise them so that, one, they can embrace that quality of loving to have challenge, but also balancing it. So a thing to keep in mind, my first tip for raising kids who are the Type 8 child is that they're going to naturally love challenge. And as a Type 8, they're going to have one big struggle, which is relaxing and being compassionate. So if you have a Type 8 child, chances are they're not the most soft-spoken person. They just will say whatever's on their mind and they'll say it as it is. They might not seem the most kind. But let me tell you, these Type 8 kids, they have the biggest heart. They want to protect others. They just don't let it come off the same way as the Type 2 does, which is super compassionate. So for helping these kids the most, the greatest start is to just start with practicing self-love and heart chakra healing. Now, maybe you're not into heart chakras and you don't have to take that word for word, but self-love in general, compassion, kindness, taking care of themselves and being vulnerable is going to be a huge one because Type 8s don't believe that they can be seen as vulnerable. It feels bad for them and they feel like they can't be seen as weak. So helping your Type 8 kids by giving them a space to show that vulnerable side, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be huge for them. So making sure they also have places where they feel like they can rest is really important. You're going to notice with Type 8 kids that they're going to want to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until they get tired. But making sure that they have places to rest is going to be really important. The other thing to note is that because they're not that compassionate, they're also going to be a little blunt with their words. So helping them one, not totally putting out their fire of how they naturally are, but also helping them promote and cultivate words of compassion and nicer ways of speaking is going to be huge. And again, making sure that they have places to rest is going to be super important. And finally, the last tip for parenting these type 8 kids is making sure that they have the right places to challenge themselves and be the leaders. So type 8s naturally want to be those leaders, right? They want intensity, they want challenge. And in some places that might not be accepted. Like they can't be the controlling one in the mom-child or parent-child dynamic. They need to be the listener there. They have to listen to their parents. But making sure then that they have other places where they get to be in control and get to challenge themselves is going to be really important. So do they have a physical outlet? Do they have a place where they get to be leaders? Do they have places where they can control and test their mental capabilities? These are going to be really important things for raising type 8 child because they're going to have a lot of energy. And they're going to seem a little hot-tempered. That's the last thing I want to note. They're going to seem a little bit hot-headed because they're in the anger triad and they just let their anger out. So don't be too judgmental of them when this anger comes out because this is their natural way. Now, it's not to say that you should just let all their anger slide. Again, it comes back to that giving them places to be vulnerable standpoint. So making sure when their anger comes up, don't be too offended. That's just how it just naturally comes like that. But also helping them promote more vulnerability and let themselves relax more is going to be really, really important for raising the type 8 child. So if you're interested in learning more about the Enneagram and using the Enneagram in your household, highly recommend that you check out the Closer Connections Bundle, my Enneagram course where I teach you how to use the Enneagram to raise your child and how to make it so that you as the parent are more fulfilled and how you guys can form a closer connection by knowing your Enneagram. So use it. The link is below to check that out, and I know that it will help you a ton with raising your child and making it so that you and your family, every single person, can have closer connection both to each other and to yourselves. So check out the Closer Connections Bundle in the link below. And if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please leave a comment below because I'd love to hear that these videos are actually helping you, and let me know what you do as a parent to help your type 8 child thrive. And thank you so much for joining me, and stay tuned for the final video in this series about the Enneagram Type 9 child.